So as we run towards the end of the year and people are auditing the year, what they achieved, how the year went, and many things like that, there's every tendency for you to become anxious, for people to become agitated, sometimes even become angry with God, angry with self, angry with the people in their space, angry with everything, as though the year was just wasted. Anxiety and agitation are not propellers for you to achieve your goal or attain success. You see, of course, things may not really have been as you wanted it to be, but it takes a heart of gratitude to be able to see the thing that has worked and the things that have not worked. God is good and God is faithful. Everything didn't fail. Some things might have not have been as you desired it, but that doesn't mean you've lost everything. I want to talk about the difference between being anxious, being agitated, and being fed up of a state in your life. There are two different things. You can be anxious, but God does not demand us to be anxious. God is against us being anxious. That doesn't mean that God wants us to be complacent. There's a difference between complacency and being anxious. Complacency is you saying, I'm okay with where I am, no matter what, and I'm just okay. Anything goes. That's complacency. Anxiety is a little bit different. Anxiety is on the negative side. You see, the Bible said in the book of Philippians 4 verse 6, it says, be anxious for nothing. And the version says, don't worry over anything. What anxiety is actually is worry. It's not a strategy. It's not an action. It's just worry. It leads to depression. It leads to so many things. Now, what does being anxious for nothing mean? I think it's Philippians 4 verse 6. In essence, being anxious for nothing is an invitation to cultivate a mindset of trust, prayer, and gratitude in your relationship with God. When you're anxious, you are saying God can do it. When you're anxious, you are saying God has forgotten me. When you're anxious, you are saying that I don't have what it takes to make it happen. I've tried and I failed. You've already X yourself out of the race. That's what anxiety means. Okay. Now, saying don't be anxious does not mean that you should avoid concerns or ignore legitimate issues. If you are financially broke, the Bible is not saying you should not be aware of that or be conscious of that. What the Bible is saying is that leave it to God. It's not saying let it be continuously. Say cast your burdens before me. Lay your burdens at his feet. What he's saying is let God handle it. And let God handle it doesn't mean you should go to sleep. That's why I said in the introduction there's a difference between you hustling and you being stressed over your current state. You have to keep up the hustle. So anxiety and agitations are emotional states rooted in fear and uncertainty. They emerge when you are overwhelmed by the weight of expectation, comparison, or self-doubt. When left unchecked, they could cloud your judgment, paralyze your decision-making, and sap your energy, making it harder to move forward with clarity and purpose. So 3 major things that causes anxiety. 1, comparison. 2, self-doubt. 3, unrealistic expectation. When these 3 things come together, you become anxious. You won't know the real cause. And you think that anxiety it doesn't achieve anything in your faith. It doesn't achieve anything in life. It doesn't bring anything good. It only leaves you in a cage state where you move in cycles. Now, let me explain the difference between being fed up or being satisfied and being anxious. 1, there's a vast difference between being fed up with a particular level in your life and being consumed by anxiety. Being fed up signifies the conscious recognition that I am more than this, I'm better than this, I could do more than this. That's what being fed up means. All right. It is the point where dissatisfaction fuels your action. You are dissatisfied. And due to that dissatisfaction, you are propelled into action. And take note, it takes clarity to be able to act. Every time you are stuck, the major root cause of being stuck is that you have no clarity as to what to do next. Now, let's contrast that with being anxious. Anxiety is an emotional state of distress and unease. It traps you in a cycle of worry, making you reactive rather than being proactive. So being fed up inspires change. It motivates you to set higher standards and pursue growth. Anxiety, on the other hand, drains your focus and energy, often leading to poor choices and inaction. You get that? So when you are fed up, your actions are different from when you are being anxious. And you have to know the two. And I want to know this too before we get to the conference, before we get to the Unleash 2025 Summit. All right, I want to understand so you know where you are and make changes. When you are fed up, you ask inspiring questions. What can I do? What can I change? What can I do differently? What steps can I take to improve? However, when you're anxious, when you're in a state of anxiety, it keeps you stuck in a spiral, in a cycle. And the questions you ask yourself are things like, what if it doesn't work? What if I fail? What if I run this ad and it doesn't convert? Should I use this color? Should I use that color? Do I use this logo? Do I use that logo? Should I use Facebook as my platform, or do I use Google? You just keep on asking all kind of funny questions, because one of the symptoms of being anxious is what they call paralysis by analysis. Over analyzing everything, overthinking everything. All right. So why anxiety is not a propeller to success? One of them is lack of focus. It scatters your thoughts, making it difficult to prioritize. Your mind is here, there, and everywhere. You can't stay on a thought for long. All right. Success requires clear goals and focused action. But anxiety cannot allow you to do any of those two things. Number two, emotionally fatigued. Success demands resilience, creativity, innovation, and sustained effort. Those are the qualities of success. But when you are emotionally fatigued, which is due to stress, due to anxiety and agitation, those qualities disappears. They are depleted when you're perpetually anxious. What you get in replacement for them is just depression. Nothing else. All right? So I thought about paralysis and analysis. That's a major fact. Now, the fourth one that is very key, and that's where I'm going to end today, is negative energy. You must have listened to that video or read that laws of attraction. They emphasize on the fact that we generate energy, and what comes to us, what comes to us, what appears in our space is a function of our internal energy, of the energy we are generating internally. So if you feel I'm finished, it doesn't work, the contracts won't fly, they won't approve the contract, the ads won't convert, my clients are not being productive, I don't have a good team. Once these are the energies all around you, those negativity will be what you'll be seeing in your life every now and then. So let me just add one more. How to shift from anxiety to productive action. How to kill anxiety. One, I'm just to touch only one. Adopt a growth mindset. Ask how can it be done. Instead of fixating your heart in fear of failure, focus on what you can learn from each step of the journey. Growth mindset. Understand, growth is like this. Step upon step, precept upon precept, layer upon layer, block upon block. That's growth. It's not. So when you have a growth mindset, you ask questions like what do I need to do differently to achieve a better result? What did I do in 2023 that made my 2024 end up like this? What can I do differently? What are the tools that I played with in 2024 that gave me this result that I don't desire? What are the tools that I need to acquire? What are the mindsets? Why couldn't I convert my network into my desired goal? What made my goals fail? You ask these questions, because these questions they are growth mindset questions. They are questions that will help you know what to do next. What if the goal you set for yourself was not a realistic goal? Because for you to achieve certain things, there are certain things you must become first. There are certain things that you must do first before you can attain certain goals. What if you are putting the cart before the horse? So, Unleash summit that we are talking about that's coming up on the 22nd, on 27th of December is not motivated by anxiety or agitation. The motivation is your dreams and your goals. I'm not saying that in a second all your dreams will come to reality. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, let us put up a strategy in place to actualizing those dreams than just being anxious, stressed over it not coming to pass. Meanwhile, you are not really putting anything in place. There are no real actions that are targeted towards helping you achieve that goal. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say. Like, if you say, okay, I want to build a company, and I want that by the end of 2025, I have like 25 people in my team on my payroll working for me, and I want to have achieved this. I want XYZ to be my clients. I want to have manufactured XYZ product. I want to have expanded to this or that country. That is a goal. But how will that come to pass? December 2025, if all those things don't come to pass, you'll be worried that it didn't come to pass, right? But now, what you should be doing now that it's not yet 2025 is to put up a strategy in place to make that a reality. Now, Unleash 2025 is that strategy. That's what we are doing. Putting strategies in place, things we can do step by step, one after the other, until that our goal or expectation becomes a reality. So, my friend, stop worrying. Even if you don't have rice to eat this Christmas, you don't have chicken to kill this Christmas, don't worry. That state is the state of worry and anxiety. Forget it. Thank God for where you are. But from where you are today, set a goal. Put a strategy in place for a place that you desire to be next year, 2025. That should be the mindset. So wherever I am today, praise God. Thank God. In fact, I am where I'm meant to be today. Yes. Because life is cause and effect. If it's okay, demons were worrying you that, it was people from the village. Did you address the people from the village in 2023 for your 2024 to become a reality? So there's cause and effect. You skipped some. There was something you didn't do. There was something I didn't do that brought me or left me in the state that I am right now. If you say I didn't have capital to invest in the business, what strategies did you put in place to get that capital? What moves did you make?